What do you do when you have so many things to do and you just don't feel motivated to do them? We all have those days when we just don't feel like doing the work, or we just can't think of where to start. So what do you do when you have moments like that? Because we all have them. Even if you're super motivated most of the time, you will have days when you don't feel motivated. So how do you get your work done? Take a look at this video and find out. Hello home bosses, I'm Nuria Corby from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to this channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. But today is Monday, and as usual we have a Motivation Monday video, and I hope it helps you to become motivated in those moments when you don't feel very motivated in yourself. So what can you do when you need to get some work done, but you just don't feel motivated, you feel tired, you feel uninspired, and you just can't get into the mood to do something, and sometimes you don't even know where to start? We all have those days, I have those days, and I just thought I'd share with you what I do when I feel like that and what has helped me to be more motivated and to get the work done. So the first thing I would say is ask yourself why you're doing this. When you analyze the why you're doing something, it really helps you with your motivation. So think about your goals. What do you want to achieve? And maybe it's a goal that you have set yourself, or maybe you feel under pressure from other people to achieve that goal. So try and analyze which one it is. Is this what you really want to do, and why do you want to do it? I know why I am doing this, and that is because I want to have more freedom to do the things that I want to do without having to worry about money. I want my family to have the same choices so that we don't struggle and that we can have the kind of life that we want to have. Some people, they want to achieve things like bigger houses, nice cars, but it's not always about that. Sometimes it's about just having the choice of doing something, just being able to take time off work. Maybe you don't have to worry if you're sick, you need to go to the doctors, and if you have financial security, then that really helps with those kind of choices. So everybody will have a different type of reason, a different why they're doing what they're doing. So try and analyze your why, and then once you know why you're doing this, it helps you to be more motivated. And the other thing is, you have to enjoy what you're doing. I think if you enjoy what you're doing, then motivation is so much easier to have. Because if you enjoy the process, then you don't even need motivation sometimes, because it's just something that you enjoy doing, and that is motivation enough. In my case, I really enjoy this business. It's the first time that I've got a job where I don't get up in the mornings and I feel like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I get up in the mornings now and I think, right, what can I do now? What can I do next? What ideas have I got? And I write a lot of things down, which I never used to do when I was working in an office. So it's very, very different when you enjoy what you're doing. So if you're doing KDP, or if you're doing blogging, or you're having an affiliate business, whatever it is that you're doing, try and find the enjoyable aspects of your business. Do you enjoy creating covers, for example? Do you like the creativity? Do you like creating interiors for your books? Do you like setting up an Etsy shop? Do you like the process of making a blog post? If you enjoy all those things, then motivation will be so much easier to achieve. If you don't enjoy those things, then I would seriously look into a different type of business that you can do, because you have a choice. You don't have to do this. There are so many different opportunities online, and you can choose the one that fits your enjoyment best. So if you're very creative, KDP is perfect. If you love writing, then blogging is perfect. Or maybe you enjoy selling and the sales aspect of things and the marketing side of things. So there are so many opportunities out there where your skills can really shine and where you enjoy doing what you're doing. So that in itself creates a really strong motivation to do things. But what happens if you're doing this business and you like this business, but there are certain aspects that you don't enjoy? Because we can all enjoy the creativity of the business. Some people will enjoy the marketing more. So there's different things. We don't always enjoy everything in this business. So what can you do when that is the case? Well, one thing that really helped me is to have a routine. When you have a routine, it kind of forces you to do things and you get used to doing them. So what I suggest to you is decide how much time you can dedicate for this business. If you're doing this as a side business to your normal job, then obviously your time is limited. For example, if you're working in an office 9 to 5 and you come home and then you do your online business, you have limited time. Or if you're a mum at home with your children, that is the hardest one because you only have time when your children are asleep. so that is one where you have to be a little bit flexible with your routine. Or maybe you are lucky and you can do this full time, and then the problem you have is having a balance between your working life and your social life, and you have to always have some time for yourself as well. There is no point in doing this 24 hours a day. You have to have a good sleep, you have to eat healthy, and you have to have your friends and family as well and interact with them. So you have to find a balance in all of this. So my suggestion is, if for example you have a full-time job and you're doing this in your free time, then decide which hours you can dedicate this business to. So for example, if you finish work at 5 o'clock, you get home at 6 o'clock, you have to be realistic because you also have to eat and you have to talk to your family or do the things that you need to do that are personal to you. So try and fit it in where you can have a time just for this business. So for example, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this from 7 till 8 in the evening, or if you have a little bit more time, from 7 till 9 in the evening, or I will do it at weekends when I'm not working, and set yourself a time to do it and stick to that time. If you stick to a routine, it's much more easy to get motivated because you are kind of expecting that this is what you're going to do. You're sitting down at your desk and you are dedicating that time just to your business, and that really helps with motivation. And if you are a mum and you have small children and it's harder to have a set time because maybe they're not always going to sleep, sometimes they are not feeling very well, and then the whole routine goes out the window anyway. I know mums that are listening to this know what I'm talking about. So you have to be a little bit more flexible with yourself and just take time to yourself, where maybe when the children are asleep or they're in kindergarten or they're in school, then you can say, okay, I'm going to dedicate 1 hour a day, or maybe 1 hour a week even. Whatever you can do, just do it. An hour a week is better than nothing. You can still create a business just by spending 1 hour a week. It will take more time, but you can still do it, and it's still better than not doing it at all. Once you have that time allocated for your business, then you can make a little plan as to what you're going to do during that time. And that helps during the days where sometimes you think, oh, where do I start? I've got this time now for my business, but I don't know where to start and I don't know what to do. So a good thing to do is to make a little plan of what you want to achieve. So if you're doing KDP, you can set yourself a goal And for example, you can say, I'm going to produce 3 books this week, or I'm going to produce 1 book this week, or I'm going to produce 10 books, depending on what your goal is and what your strategy is. Set yourself a goal that you can comfortably achieve. Don't set yourself a goal to begin with that is too high, because when you don't achieve that goal, you will get demotivated. It's always much more motivating if you can achieve a goal comfortably, and then next time you can step it up and make that goal a little bit more difficult to achieve. But get yourself a few goals under your belt that you have achieved with less effort, so that you feel encouraged. There's nothing worse than not achieving a goal and then you feel disheartened and discouraged. So set yourself a goal that you can achieve. Even if it's just, I'm going to produce 1 book this week with the time that I have available. And then when you achieve that goal, that is fantastic. And then you can celebrate that, because it's very important to celebrate small wins, whether that is just making an interior for a book, or maybe it's setting up an Etsy shop, or maybe it is just writing a paragraph in your blog. That is a small win. Anything that you do is a small win. And then when you complete the whole task, that is a big win. So think of it in those terms, because it really helps to feel that you've achieved something. If you feel you have achieved something, motivation is so much easier to come by. So that is another tip, set up your routine, and I probably will make a more detailed video on how to set up a routine so that you can follow it and you have a structure for your online business. And another important tip to stay motivated is to surround yourself with positive people. And I'm not talking about your friends and family. What do I mean by that? Well, your friends and family are great and they will encourage you no matter what. Most families do. I know there are families that don't do that as well, so that's another problem. But think of your friends and family as a separate group of people. You don't have to talk about your business to them, because I find that most of the time they will not understand. I have a lot of friends and family that when I talk about what I do, they're kind of getting a really blank expression and they're not really understanding what I'm talking about. Or when people ask me, what do you do as a job? And I say, well, I create content, or I YouTube, or I create books for KDP. They all say, yes, but what do you do for a job? And they don't really get that this is a full-time job and that this is what I do for a living. So friends and family are great for your social interactions, but when it comes to business, talk to people that are doing the same thing that you are doing, because that is where your motivation will come through the most. Friends and family, they will motivate you, but they don't really understand. So you need to talk to people that really understand the work that is involved in this and that understand how many hours you have to put into this. And those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. So if you have family that do understand, maybe they're doing the same thing or something similar, then you're very lucky and that's great. But if you don't have that, if your friends are not really understanding what you are talking about, then the best thing to do is to join groups online that are doing similar things to you. So a good example would be to join our Facebook group, the Home Boss group. There are many other groups that you can join on Facebook. Just type in KDP groups, or type in, if you're blogging, there are lots of really good blogging groups on Facebook. You can use any type of social media to really talk to people who are in your same business or in your same industry. So that always really helps, because you can connect with each other and you can relate to the type of problems that you are facing. That is a really good tip on how to stay motivated. Surround yourself with people who are going through the same things and through the same problems, and who will motivate you by you can talk about their successes and see how they do and how they are succeeding. And this is another really good tip for finding motivation, and that is to look at people who are doing what you want to achieve and who have already achieved it. So for KDP, I get a lot of inspiration from watching channels by Rebecca Holman, Paddy from Stacking Profit, Paul Miles, Kelly Publish, Shashwat, and for Etsy, for example, I follow Nancy Badillo, and when I want to get information or motivation for YouTube, I watch channels like Nimmin. So there are lots of really good motivational channels that are not necessarily about motivation, but they are people who have achieved what I want to achieve, so I follow them to get my motivation from them, and that really helps as well. I might leave a little list underneath this video of channels that I follow that I find really helpful to stay motivated, and anything that you like doing will motivate you, because when we feel good, we feel we have the power to attract motivation. So it's all about how you feel. If you feel down and negative, then do something to make yourself feel better and motivation will come. And the other thing that I really want to tell you is that if you feel really bad and you really can't find that motivation, don't beat yourself up about it. Take time out. Time out is important as well. Do something that you just like doing. Just spend time with your favorite people, or watch a really good TV program that you enjoy. Go out for a walk. Do something that you enjoy, because it doesn't matter if you don't do something one day. There will be another day where you can catch up. So just be easy and kind to yourself, and that is probably the most important tip that I can give you. Be kind to yourself in the same way that you need to be kind to other people. We always neglect to be kind to ourselves. We are very harsh on ourselves sometimes, and we're really our toughest critics sometimes, and that's not good. We should also be our own biggest supporters. So celebrate your small wins. Always do that, because it's so important to feel good about yourself and about the things that you do. Motivation will come. And also, when you achieve something, tell yourself that it was your hard work that got you to that place, nothing else. It wasn't luck. It wasn't somebody else that got you there. It was your hard work that did it. So when you have a little win, when you feel that you have achieved something, who's responsible for that? You. You are the person responsible for that. So that should make you feel better. And if nobody tells you, I'm telling you now. Whatever you've achieved in life, you have achieved because you have worked hard for it. So don't let anybody take that away. It wasn't luck. It was you doing the work. And that's what it boils down to in the end. You have the power. You create your future. And luck doesn't come into it, because luck is something that we can't control. And there are lots of things that we can control. We can control the way we feel about something. So if you make yourself feel good, motivation will come. So whatever you have to do, the first thing to do is to make yourself happy. So do things that you enjoy doing. It's not always possible. I know that life sometimes throws things at us that will get us down. That's life. We can't avoid that. But as much as you can, do things that you enjoy, and motivation will be so much easier to achieve. So what tips do you have for us to stay motivated? What do you do when you want to motivate yourself? Let me know in the comments, because I would be so interested in hearing your techniques. Or let me know if any of the techniques that I told you today will help you. So let us know. Let's have a conversation. And I'll see you again in my next video. Bye-bye.